Downtown was first aired in 1999 and explores many real awkward coming-of-age themes. Naive crushes, dating, rejection, social anxiety. Things most people can relate to in their late teens and early 20s.
Downtown was created by Chris Pronowski and was part of MTV Animations. MTV Animations was a groundbreaking experiment that paved the way for other indie-based TV networks like Adult Swim.
Unfortunately, many animated shows were cut short after just one season. How is it that shows like Riverdale,
in case you haven't noticed, I'm weird. I'm a weirdo.
get like 7 seasons, but shows like this get cut up in just one?
The show follows a diverse group of friends and their daily struggles. These friends often clash and fight like actual friends.
You ass! This is why I never bring you with me.
Making them feel messy and real.
Downtown definitely leans into this messiness. Each episode makes it feel as if we could be placed in any of the characters' shoes, except maybe Goat. However, everything still circles back to Alex, making him the reluctant center of everyone else's bullshit. Most episodes consist of Alex hanging around with his best friend Jen, running after his sister Chaka, or simping over his crush Serena. He works a pretty mundane job at a copy shop, but has dreams of something bigger.
Alex is aware of how he is viewed by others. It comes through most clearly in his obsession with figurines and comic books. They're central to his personality, yet there's something he's deeply ashamed of.
And it's kind of crazy looking back that Alex was treated like a loser. Like, this is pretty normal shit nowadays.
Wait.
What?
Let me get my laughs out before.
Yeah. To be considered an outcast degenerate today, you'd have to be buying bathwater or like gooning all day in VR chat. But in the 90s, this was a completely different story. People like Alex were branded as loser nerds.
Okay, why don't you like Jen?
Actually, let's go to why I really fuck with Goat. Because
fuck your question. Personally, I really fuck with Jen. Jen is sort of an antagonist at times.
Yeah, see, Jen can act as an antagonist, and she kind of just fucking, and I don't know, she just kind of brings the vibe down. So I didn't actually fuck with Jen at the start, and then bro kind of turned me. I think I didn't like her when I first watched it because I was just trying to get behind everything Alex was doing.
She is clearly masking her true feelings for Alex.
In episodes like Limo or Train Pain, she flirts with the idea of sex with Alex. The show also constantly has other characters reinforce that they deep down want to be together, and they are constantly refuting that. What do you think about that? Like, they're saying she's asexual, but they're also hinting that she does have these deep down feelings.
Well, I feel like you can be, as a cis white male, I feel like you can be asexual.
And still have are you saying they're romantic feelings
for
Alex?
Have romantic feelings for Alex.
Doesn't necessarily mean you want to fuck him.
We see that through like board games and shit like that. She's constantly like, they're playing board games together and they're like, oh, you're a dirty little boy. So we know for a fact that deep down she wants Alex like this, and Alex probably wants her like this.
I think you're right though.
Bro, Train Pain, the bit where Fruity is talking about like where they all first met and he's like all buffed up in imagination.
Yeah.
I fucking love that bit. That's one of my
That's a
favorite
good
parts
example
the
of
show.
how, I feel like we hadn't touched on that, how well they do the animation flashbacks.
Yeah.
Like they were showing Fruity buff because that's how he saw himself.
Exactly. He was like talking with like his ego and shit like that. And that's definitely something like I would have done it.
Yeah, that's what I would have did.
And then I like how they flipped that and they would show Chaka's perspective and how she kind of thought Fruity was lame and skinny and like not all that.
Who's the dork on the skateboard? Ew, and where'd his friend get that haircut?
What's your favorite episode?
I like the con.
Yeah?
Yeah, where he's like going after Serena, but then he has to like secretly pretend like, oh, he's not into all this shit, but he keeps
Oh,
getting distracted by, like,
yeah. Could you relate to that?
a little bit, yeah. Like,
were you a little bit self-conscious of your gooner activities?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
That made me agree to that shit. The name says it all.
Goat.
Once a core member of Alex's old nerd squad.
Goat is our personal favorite character. Goat loves spouting off batshit government conspiracies and stumbling into some of the nastiest, most degenerate situations imaginable. That yin-yang, though, of intelligence and anarchy makes him such a memorable part of the show. Alright, let's get into Serena. Serena is, let's face it, a goth baddie. She's mysterious, she keeps to herself. She brings out an unseen side of Alex, a darker, edgier side. Would you say?
I think so, yes. Serena, it's easy to just see her as like a goth baddie, but more than that. And Alex, fucking the dog, switches up on her.
And it's like, she was saying how she's perceived this way.
And she is.
And clearly Alex perceives her that way as well.
Exactly.
And it almost like, it seems like he's saying what she wants to hear, but he just wants to fuck. You know?
Exactly.
Alright, let's get into Fruity. Now, let's address the obvious. This name would not hold up today, at least not for Fruity standards. It's like, how did that come about in the 90s?
Hella.
No, it's not gay.
Yeah, okay.
He tries a little too hard to be cool and fit in, usually at the detriment of his friends. And he can also be point blank a horn dog. He feels like a shadow to his more level-headed friend Matt, and this dynamic leads to tension between the two. Fruity has a clear crush on Chukka, but too often he lets his other head do the talking, if you know what I mean.
Matt has got to be the chillest dude in the show, hands down. This dude has insane artistic talent, but he chooses to be pretty humble with it. He isn't too concerned with girls and doesn't throw away his morals in order to get them. Unlike
Fruity.
Oh, actually, hold on. One thing I really want to talk about is Fruity's like background music. I find his signature soundtrack really fun.
So they all have the signature soundtrack? Oh, just for that episode?
Just Fruity.
Just for that episode?
All episodes.
Really?
Yeah, Fruity has a signature soundtrack.
And you like that sound, his soundtrack?
Yeah, I think it's funny as hell. I just looked up Fruity Hot Nurse.
Wow.
That's not going to come up
Did you
with
get some men?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course. Now Chukka is Alex's younger sister. She is loud and unapologetic. She's a typical party girl raver type who loves drinking, constantly making mistakes, but she's learning from them nonetheless. We see her flirting with several men, mostly to get things she wants out of them though. She's underage, by the way.
Alright, Mecca. We don't really get to learn about Mecca in the show, let's be honest. What we can see is Mecca is a patient peacemaker and a kind-hearted animal lover. Honestly, her main role seems to be to balance Chukka's loud behavior and randomness.
These episodes never relied on big, over-the-top plots. They always focus on small, relatable moments that we've all experienced. Bad sleep, an awkward crush, or a missed train. The writing elevates them, making these seemingly mundane moments feel emotional, intriguing. We want to be unbiased in this, so we're going to allow a section to talk about some negatives of the show. Some of the characters can switch up. Like Jen can switch up from her usual outward depreciating self to just straight up cruel.
I think the episode that pissed me off with her was where she goes out with her roommate and she's like being a fucking loud
Oh, and she's drunk and
singing
shit.
and all that shit.
Yeah.
Putting other people down because she has low self-esteem, but then we also see this side of her where she's
Straight mean. And she
being
was
an
drunk.
asshole.
Yeah, but then again, in that episode, she was drunk, so that maybe fueled her
Exactly.
even more. But also, Goat can kind of switch up from his usual smart, wacky self to just a straight up dumbass.
Honestly, it would have been interesting to see how these characters developed over time, as these personalities were still being shaped. Another thing we found people have a problem with is Downtown's fluctuation in animation style. The show's quality and detail shifts episode to episode. I feel like this is also to be expected with a show whose budget didn't even include casting calls and had their animators and editors jumping in to fill voice roles. The creators of the show took the time to actually reach out to numerous people to find a grounded view of young New Yorkers at the time.
A lot of the cast are just real people who worked in the studio at the time or were friends in real life.
Honestly, I feel like this just adds to the show's grit.
This leads us to the look and feel of Downtown, which is fucking perfect in my opinion. The style, the pacing, the imperfections, they were designed to reflect the city it portrayed. Its raw, slightly messy animation style mirrored the grit and chaos of 90s New York. That just proves like those little things, like they've got a theme for the character. Like they're so fucking intentional. Everything's intentional.
Exactly, everything has a purpose.
Like they could have, why didn't they fucking, fill in the lines or not be so scratchy? But it's like that just adds to the grit, giving the show an authenticity that felt like stepping foot into the city yourself.
Pronosky wanted Downtown to serve as a true timepiece, capturing the energy, humor, and culture in the era in the same way that the films he grew up watching did.
And you look at the animation now, it's fucking perfect and colored and fucking textured. It looks like fucking shit.
They all look like family fucking Rick and Morty. The show was often given poor time slots, usually airing late at night or between other programs. Honestly, this likely contributed to its early demise. Even Chris Pronosky isn't entirely sure why the show was cancelled in the first place.
Imagine making the greatest show of all time, but because it was on a stupid time slot.
Yeah, it just got fucked.
However, when it first aired, MTV backed the show heavily. But over time, that support dwindled. Some blame poor promotion, others point to the inconvenient time slots, and ultimately, the reasons remain unclear. Like many MTV animated shows, it may have struggled to attract advertisers despite its creative merit.
Bro, the real irony? Despite all of this, Downtown was nominated for a Primetime Emmy, and the show was still fucking cancelled.
Fortunately, thanks to YouTube, we can still watch Downtown in its entirety. Uploads of episodes have millions of views, proving that the show still holds up today. And watching it now, it's easy to draw parallels to modern life. Pronosky stated in an interview that he hoped decades later viewers could watch the show and instantly feel what 1999 New York was like. And in my opinion, he fucking nailed it.
Fucking
He fucking nailed it.